Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working. Have you lost the last 3 brain cells, or do you just have cabbage for brains? You know, that's just one step above stupid. This guy may be like the dumbest person on the face of the earth. Did you hear what I said? There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
We're all Richard Allen!
Yo, hey, look at that. Clancy, Benny. One of these days we'll have to throw all the dogs in there at the same time. But not until they get fixed, I can tell you that. Not until they get fixed. Alright, anyways, I made the video today and I don't know, kind of sort of struggled. Did okay, sort of picked up a little bit later in the afternoon, but you know, you'd think that that animation part 1 would be like have 80,000 views, you know, compared to, but it doesn't, you know. Oh, and there's Mike. He sent me this satire theory. You know, it's one that we've actually brought up as a joke, but he took it the full 9 yards on a I guess he writes like I call it more like sarcastic dry humor, you know. It's you know, the Kohberger twin scenario. Yeah, except the theory that we come up with is Kohberger didn't do it at all. It was his twin, just some guy that he didn't even know he was around, and he would shadow him. Yeah. Yeah, there's this article by East Idaho News. Here, let me get StreamYards out by itself. I had to do this crazy little trickery. I have to put another shot in here, but on this video right here. I guess I have to redo that. That sucks. But anyways, I just have, see how she goes down the stairs and she's looking up back there? But I have to put it one, I'm going to have one where she's turning around and turning down there. But see how it looks like she's going down the stairs pretty good, right? Like watch, ding, 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 ding. And it's the craziest thing in the world. It doesn't work at all. So I have to do it where I hide the legs. And then I just do a different shot. I was trying to figure out how to do it. Look how crazy this is. Look at this. See how the legs just go blah, 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 blah. For some reason, walking down steps doesn't work here. So what I did was I stopped it on the first frame and then took out all the keyframes of the movement of anything. And then but the movement of her bobbing up and down, it's still there in her arms. So like, hey, as long as you can't see the legs, then it looks like she's walking normally. Well, cool, Daphne. Did you watch the whole thing? Because it's only got an 8-minute average. The whole video was interesting, right? Because I went through those other clips. So a lot of people, they go, oh, yeah. Okay, forget it. They just watch like a couple seconds of the animation and they move on because they don't take the time to listen to the interesting second half where we discussed some clips. Yeah, well, that's what the theory... I mean, this is a theory that was... We've kind of come up with part of this theory that... I don't know if you guys remember, but I talked about it months ago, where Xana maybe was in the kitchen when Kohberger... I was trying to figure out, like, how does that work? Because I think Xana could have been in the kitchen around the time that Kohberger goes into the kitchen. But I think he gets there like a minute or so before Xana goes to the kitchen. So he's already upstairs. And then, yeah, we were kind of thinking maybe he's just going up the stairs when she goes to the kitchen. So it's kind of neat that that element is what the investigators think too. And by the way, you guys, this is just like any other show. As you can see, we're currently at the beginning of the show at 0. The video today didn't do very well, and I'm hoping to do, have the show this evening do well and have you guys support the channel during the live stream. All right, but we're currently at 0 on every single element, the channel memberships, etc., etc., etc. Usually there's somebody at the beginning of the show where we feel like we're moving forward. All right, where the hell is that article? This one? Oh yeah, up here. Because I put blue gloves on purpose, so you could see them. Who cares? Do you really care what color the gloves are? Does that affect how it went down? What an idiot. Hey, thanks, Alley Cake. All right.
Ocean wave emoji. Ocean wave.
You know, you always hear from people who can't create anything similar. They get upset when it's not exactly... Like, I don't care about... I put the blue gloves so you could see his hand better and the knife and everything. A black glove, it blends in. You can't see anything. That's why I did it. Okay? But if that's what you're bitching and complaining about, then that's crazy. Who cares what color the gloves are? I mean, if I had made pink, it would have been okay. Thanks, Alley Cake. Notice the little wave below her name. I think Alley Cake, you're the most snubbed wave starter I've ever seen. And by the way, put out some positive vibes for Cheryl Moran. She lost her pet, like a dog recently. And what's weird is I remember my first dogs that I had, I felt bad when they passed away, but I didn't feel like I was really close to them until Blue, right? And then Blue was the first dog where I actually felt like, made me cry when I'm by myself, It was like it was screwed up. Makes me sad right now just thinking about it again. So anyways, she lost her dog, so now I understand what everybody was talking about all those other times. Gray, is there a reason his gloves are blue when they said they were black? Gee, Gray, you bastard. Oh, Jesus. My God. Okay, are you going to bitch? Okay, Xana may had black clothes on. She might have a sweatshirt on. Wait a minute, Xana has longer hair. That person has short hair. Oh my God. Look at that, there's blue jeans. You think they'd be wearing blue jeans if it was at night, for God's sakes? Come on, keep the bitching going, you guys. See, this is just a representation of what happened. Hey, thanks, CR. You matched her wave. All right. How do we know they had the pink pants on, Gray? Isn't that amazing, you guys? I come up with better troll material. I mean, that is shit material, okay? Now go back to your little group that you're in, and then come back and come up with something better, all right? Thank you. Wow. Uncredible.
Dogs are better than humans.
Yeah, can't argue with that. Can't argue. Although Benny's a little bit psycho. We gotta figure out what's going on with him. It's just such a weird thing. You're petting Benny, and then he growls at Clancy. Like, don't come near, I'm being pet. I mean, then when you pet, that's just weird, man. I don't know. Yeah, they're wild. Hey, thanks, GA Girl. Yeah, I thought it was good too. It just didn't get the views again. You know, didn't make it into the slot or whatever you call it, the algorithm. I mean, it is about 8,000 something views now, but I mean, you'd think that one would have like 15 by now. All right, here, listen to this right here. It says the judge in the Brian Kohberger case is cracking down on leaks about the Moscow murder. This is an article from. Everybody's making a big deal out of this, and I don't know, man. I just feel like people. They don't really have intellectual curiosity. They just read something, and then they just run out, and it's a big story, you know? I'll show you when we get to that part. Let's see. The episode detailed, among other information, Kohberger's alleged cell phone activity, including internet searches of Ted Bundy. So this is all the stuff that came out in the Dateline.
Ocean wave emoji, alley cakes wave.
Hey, all right. Thanks, wise child. So right here it says the NBC reporter for the Dateline episode titled "The Terrible Night on King Road." And the other the first one, if you can find it, is, but I found it on Spotify. I think it's called "The Killing on King Road." It has a lot of the same stuff in it, but they added a bunch. So it relied on information from anonymous sources connected to the case. Now the judge here, he wouldn't be angry about it if it was inaccurate. So basically by them saying there's a leak and we got to figure out who it is, means that it was accurate information on Dateline. Don't you agree with that? Like if they put a bunch of stuff, Kohberger dressed up as a clown and he walked around with a bozo mask on, the judge wouldn't say anything. They'd go, yeah, that doesn't exist. Yeah, that's complete garbage. And I was on Spotify. You can find the audio. It's just the audio of the first one. I could not find the video on any official site. I mean, maybe it's out there somewhere hidden. Don't know. Yeah, it says, and yeah, definitely, it's the FBI. That's what I was told by a source, my sources. You know? So the FBI has is connected with Dateline, and they gave Dateline information, and so it's not the state police or anything like that, not the investigators. It's like almost like you could almost look at the FBI as like a third party. I don't know, like prosecution side, but prosecution isn't responsible for what the FBI does. You get what I'm saying? The episode detailed, among other information, Kohberger's alleged cell phone activity, including internet searches of Ted Bundy, porn, and the Moscow murder investigation. The episode also shared gruesome details about the crime scene and surveillance video of what appears to be the suspect vehicle near the King Road crime scene. Yeah, I mean, we've already seen video. We haven't seen any, I guess we could say we've never seen video. We've seen still frames of the vehicle from the 1112 King Road camera. However, you know, the documents they've put out in conjunction with the still frames and the 1330 Linda Lane footage, it all told the same story, except there are some differences, you know, like the car does a 3-point turn. I mean, those are the things that kind of make me frustrated. Is in the probable cause document, it said that when the vehicle came in for the 4th time, it went back behind 500 Queen Road, and it turned around, and then it did a 3-point turn on Queen and King, and then came back again. And then in a more recent document, it talked about how it did a 3-point turn behind Queen Road, back, in that back area, and then on Queen and King did a U-turn. But as you can plainly see in the Dateline documentary, it does a 3-point turn also. So it does 2 3-point turns. One's behind Queen Road and one at Queen and King. And I've always said that before. I always said, oh yeah, it must have done 2 3-point turns. And then they changed it. Somebody said it did a U-turn. Not that that's a big deal. It's just a little element that you just go, how come that's even there? And that's iced tea again, you guys. I'm not drinking 16 ounces of whiskey. Gonna be a small crowd again. Okay, Kohberger faces 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count, this is East Idaho News, and 1 count of burglary in the stabbing deaths of University of Idaho students Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogans, Anna Carnodal, and Ethan Chapin. In a court document filed Thursday, Ada County District Judge Stephen Hippler wrote that it appears someone violated the court's non-dissemination order, which prohibits people involved in the case from talking publicly about it outside the courtroom. Hippler said these violations potentially violate Kohberger's right to a fair trial. Where is that? And could prolong the case, meaning it'll take longer to find a jury. That's about it. Accordingly, the court finds it imperative to attempt to see that the source of such leak is identified and held account, and that doing so is the best deterrent to future violations. I think they have a really tough time. The FBI people aren't going to turn on themselves, and I also don't think that NBC, who's based in New York, who has like the strongest journalism protection laws, is not going to give away their source. All right, you guys, we currently have no new channel memberships tonight. We've been averaging like 30. It's been pretty cool. So if you guys can, there's people in here that do not have channel memberships. Not a lot. Looks like tonight's a pretty packed channel memberships and moderators. I don't know. Obviously, my video didn't make it out. This one didn't make it to the general public. Yeah, I saw the documents. There was 2 of them, right? They're just nothing. Unless they came up with some after that. Let me see. No, they're just these 2. There's no big deal here. It's just this one is the court having before it an motion to seal defendant's offer of proof, alternate perpetrator, and good cause appearing now, therefore. It is thereby ordered defendant's offer of proof, alternate perpetration shall be filed under seal. Okay? But we're not going to get to see it. And then the other one is this one. There's like nothing in them. This one, there's a hearing tomorrow via Zoom, and it's not one that we get to watch. It's like the role of the victims, Alright? So, yeah, I already saw those. They didn't seem very significant to, interrupt the show to discuss. Let's see. The prosecution must also write up a plan. Wait, hold on. He ordered that anyone involved in the case are prohibited from deleting or destroying any evidence related to the case or related communication they've had with someone outside the investigation. So it sounds like he's trying to protect the chain of information leading to the leak. The prosecution and Kohberger's attorneys have 7 days to submit a list of all people in their teams who have had access to any facts related to the murder investigation. So the prosecution probably has a much larger list of people, including the FBI, etc., other attorneys. The let's see, the prosecution must also write up a plan to prevent future violations of the gag order. So I guess this here is basically saying it's the prosecution. They already know it's the prosecution side. And already, it's the FBI. It's not the prosecution. Also on Thursday, Hitler set a deadline for the defense to provide alternate perpetrator evidence and went over the rules of the upcoming trial. On June 18th, a hearing will be held to discuss the defendant's evidence that alternative perpetrators were responsible. And that'll end up being absolutely zero. There won't be anything, there's no nexus of any kind. And it'll just be a joke. In fact, I hope that they have to sort of disclose to the prosecution prior to the hearing, almost like they have to let them know what they're going to be doing, so the prosecution can go out and provide the alternate truthful information instead of just coming up with some random theory that isn't going to be true. All right, we're still at no new members, everybody. So if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, let's get some new members. And we're still only at 1/6 of a goal. All right, on June 18th, a hearing will be held to discuss defendant's evidence. Yeah, that one. And Hitler warned attorney Ann Taylor and her defense team that they need to provide him specific evidence and reasons why it is admissible. They cannot just offer allegations, he said, so meaning the nexus. Hitler said that what they have offered him so far is fairly objectionable in terms of admissibility. The trial begins August 11th with jury selection to commence on July 30th. I wonder if it'd be worth going down there just for the jury part. I mean, if they have that extra room, or I don't know. It's not televised or anything. When the trial begins, the daily hearing will run from 8:45 to 3:30, Monday through Friday. The trial will go on break during holidays on October 2nd through 3rd because Hitler has a prior engagement. I mean, this is going to be so long. Well, there's D. Rich. Became a new member. Now, how about some of the freaks help out the people who do not have memberships because they can't afford it to... have some. I don't know what other wording there is. Seating for the high-profile trial will be at a premium. Like, why would you go, though, if it's streaming? It's just kind of... I mean, I guess if you really want to see the crime scene photos, that would be it. I mean, but we'll be able to hear it from somebody who went in there. The trial will go on break October 2nd through the 3rd. The trial will be live streamed online, but the defense and prosecution said some witnesses may be reluctant to testify if their face is shown on camera. Right, so we're going to hear what they say, even if we don't see their face, including the victim's surviving roommates. Hitler agreed that there is compelling interest to not show the roommates on camera, but said he will have to be convinced to do the same for other witnesses. The plan for jury selection process is to narrow the pool down to 50 or 55. From there, the court will select 12 jurors and 8 alternates. The prosecution and defense have written their proposed jury questionnaires for the juror selection process. Those have been sealed by the court. Most of the jury selection process will not be public. Kohberger was in Ada County District Court on Thursday for a pretrial conference in front of Hitler, who urged the attorneys to avoid any communication with the jurors outside the courtroom. Kohberger still has a chance. So here it is. Kohberger still has a chance to take a plea deal this summer if he accepts the prosecution's last best offer, Hitler said. That's just not accurate. I mean, that statement right there. And then you get these YouTubers who really don't give a shit about trying to figure out what the reality is. And so they'll say stuff like, oh yeah, look at that. Ooh, they've offered him something. They gave him a last best offer. Because East Idaho News got it wrong right here, right? Last best offer. So it says, if he accepts the prosecution's last best offer, as if there's one sitting there, right? But there isn't a deal, though. That's the thing. It's like, listen to this. Does this sound like that's what he's saying here? Here, watch.
Sentencing at that time as well, given that it's probably not even a tail wag on the dog, let alone wagging the dog. So, but I'm not going to make you tell me that now, but I will ask you before the jury goes out what you want to do.
It's right here, this part.
I'm going to hand you another piece of paper that I would like to get back from the defense sometime in late June or early July, which is a declaration of last best offer. In other words, identifying whether the defendant received an offer and whether he has accepted, rejected, etc. Just so that for purposes of post-conviction.
I mean, you hear that, though?
I'm going to hand you another piece of paper that I would like to get.
Yeah. Anyways, did you hear that? It wasn't even close to that. They wanted to have him sign this thing as a declaration in case he was offered something and that he rejected it or anything like that. Do you hear that? That's totally different than saying that he has been offered something. He doesn't even know if they've been offered.
Sentencing at that time as well, given that it's probably not even a tail wag on.
Why do I have to explain it? It's just right there. Here, listen.
I'm going to hand you another piece of paper that I would like to get back from the defense sometime in late June or early July, which is a declaration of last best offer.
He's looking for a declaration of last best offer.
In other words,
and now he's explaining. He says, in other words,
identifying whether the defendant received an offer.
Identifying whether the defendant received
and whether he has accepted, rejected.
Whether he received an offer or if he's accepted or rejected,
etc. Just so that for purposes of post-conviction, we've documented that.
Does that sound like he's been offered anything when you listen to that? Where does it say that he was offered anything? I mean, it's just so amazing how what he said there, this is what I'm saying, it's just common sense. He doesn't say that at all. Do you hear it at all? Come on, just I want answers for what I'm playing, not some other concepts. Okay, listen. All he's asking is they want them to sign a declaration and just to let him know that, you know, if he has received any offers, if he's rejected or accepted them. That's it. It's crystal clear. There isn't anywhere in there where it said, "Oh yeah, he was offered something. It's just his last best offer. We're waiting to see what he does with it." That's what these YouTubers are putting out there. Somebody sent me the link today, and I go, "What the hell is this?" You know, some lady doing a YouTube video going over the East Idaho News article. I guess she just accepted what East Idaho News said, but we actually covered the hearing, so I looked up that term, last best offer, and found the portion, and it's not that at all. Hey, thanks Alley Cake and Jeannie Gayagoy for gifting memberships to some lucky freak out there. I don't know where Alley Cake who did yours go to? I don't see it. I see Alexander got one. So let's just play it again. All right, was that a good enough explanation? I mean, just listen to what the judge is saying and wipe out all the noise in your head. Okay, just listen to it.
I'm going to hand you another piece of paper that I would like to get back from the defense sometime in late June or early July, which is a declaration of last best offer. In other words, identifying whether the defendant received an offer and whether he has accepted, rejected, etc.
Yeah, just identifying whether or not he's received an offer and if he accepted, rejected, etc. Does that in any way, shape, or form say that he was offered something and it's on the table right now and they're waiting to, is he going to accept it or not? That's just garbage, you guys. And it's all over the place all of a sudden. People are putting it in comments because there's YouTubers who, without doing any due diligence or any sort of investigating after they read something, they just, that's it. And I mean, we've all made stuff like that, but I hate when it turns into like a bigger conspiracy, like it's just not conspiracy, but a bigger story, and it keeps like, hey, I heard Kohberger was offered a plea deal. We've wondered if he was offered a plea deal many times. Like, I actually thought maybe that's what was happening during that closed hearing. But it isn't true. Okay? It's just, nothing happened. All right? So I just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of that. So when you see these videos popping up, just go, yeah, that's not true. I commented underneath the videos. And here's the weird part about it. As soon as you realize that whole premise of a video is false, you should be obligated as a true crime YouTuber to remove the video immediately. Because you just leave it up there because it's getting views or whatever. And that's not correct. That's not the way to do it, because now you're putting out false information, just like the Kohberger nut jobs, for likes and views instead of putting out the correct information that's true. You see that? So when a video just sits there and lingers on and on and on with false information, doesn't it seem like it should be necessary for the person who posted it to remove it? What do you think of that? I'm just telling you. It's bizarre how they just leave it up for forever when they know it's false. But gosh, I had a video one time in a case, and it had like 30,000 views in it was crazy in like 2 hours. It was flying. This thing would have been an amazing ad revenue video. And then I noticed in there that there was something absolutely wrong, and I just pulled the plug on it, re-uploaded it with corrected information, and it got like a third. It wasn't even close to that one. And it's devastating. It sucks. You finally get something that hit the algorithm and boom, but you just can't do it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not even saying the person who made the videos like some. It's just they didn't seem. I couldn't tell if they were a Kohberger or whatever. It's just that it wasn't accurate, And as soon as you realize that, you need to remove it, or at least, an opinion isn't the same thing, right? If you have an opinion on something, even if it's likely not accurate, you don't have to remove that. But I feel like if you put something out that the whole video is based on a premise that's not true, you need to, get rid of it. Yeah. Selling false information. Well, it's just how YouTube is, though. People, I like to do my shows, and I like people to support my channel, and unfortunately I seem to have to ask a lot more than I used to have to ask, and I've been having to ask a lot more the last year or so. I mean, it just sucks, but without, I guess I just have to keep doing it. We try to make the goals every single night because my channel actually tries to make a big difference outside of the true crime world itself. The YouTube, I mean. We try to make a difference in, supporting, massively We have a scholarship fund where we've already given away $12,000 in the last 2 years for students in the criminal justice world. We're building up. We've already got like 4,000 for the next round of 6,000. We have a DNA fund that we've put over $100,000 in, and we use that to identify Jane and John Does. We've given Texas Equisearch over around 30,000. We've given Rain 20, NCMEC over 20. You know, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And that's why I need you guys' support, because without it, on a nightly basis, we can't do it, because my live streams are what I mainly do, and there is hardly any ad revenue whatsoever, and it just comes down to the people watching. And if you feel comfortable and you have the ability to support the channel, that would be great. I don't know how to ask any more or anything like that. It's just it's just something I feel like I'm relegated to do on a nightly basis these days, because it hardly, you know, people go, oh yeah, that's right, you know. Hey, thanks, Bonbon. All right, you guys want to see Mike's his little twin story? It's called The Tale of Two Brians. It's funny too, because he took the same picture and then flipped it, but I think he even made this one a little narrower or something on the left. Let's see. So here we go. And he has a funny one below it that I'll put the link in the chat here. He put a funny one below it about the firing squad with the using bullets and how they practice on. Where is that one? Yeah, Idaho begins less lethal firing squad tests on death row inmates. It's sarcasm, all right? So here we go.
The Tale of Two Brians. Brian's identical twin. Moscow ID. These days, everyone has some theory about Brian Kohberger, but the identical twin story is spot on. It supposedly explains some of his more cryptic statements, like when he asked if anyone else had been arrested, and his eerie, "I'm here to help you." The story goes like this. Brian, at some point, discovered a dark family secret. His mother had given away one of her identical twin boys at birth, Arian Christopher Kohberger, with little to no paper trail. It was a closed adoption, one of those backdoor deals that left no official record. Anonymous hospital staff told us that the mom, in her drug-induced confusion after having twins, had named both boys Ryan Christopher. To tell them apart, hospital staff had simply put an A for one and a B for the other. This somehow transferred to their birth certificates as Arian and Brian.
That's pretty clever, right? There's two different Ryans, but then he put an A in the beginning one and B in Brian, and now you have Arian and Brian. Even though they're both named Ryan because she was in a drug stupor.
Nevertheless, something in Brian must have felt the missing connection, a pull toward an unknown part of himself. Being obsessive, meticulous, and deeply into criminology, Brian used every resource available to track his twin down. And when he finally found him, it wasn't a tearful reunion, it was an opportunity. The two of them had already been living eerily parallel lives. They shared the same genetic predispositions, the same mannerisms, the same dark thoughts, even the same bushy eyebrows.
So that's where I would have put, and of course, the same bushy eyebrows. Hey, thanks, Patricia Griso up there for the gifted 5 memberships. Got, I can't see who got them. Willows, Molly, Kim, Nola. Yeah.
Their bond was instant, like two halves finally made whole again. For years, they began standing in for each other. One would attend classes while the other studied elsewhere. One would take a test, the other would show up for social events. They blurred the lines of identity so much that, to outsiders, Brian Kohberger seemed to be everywhere and nowhere at the same time. They even bought matching Elantras, except Ryan's was lime green. Then came the Idaho murders. The plan was airtight, the execution methodical, until a crucial miscalculation. They hadn't accounted for the exact number of people in the house that night. Brian's twin had to step in. One of the surviving roommates, Dylan Mortensen, later told authorities that she heard movement and...
Shouldn't that be Arian right here? except Arian's was lime green.
Peeked out of her room. She saw a masked man dressed in black and more chillingly overheard a male voice say, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." What if that wasn't Brian speaking, but his twin? What if, in the chaos of their flawed plan, his brother had stepped in, reassuring Brian that he was there to assist? So when Brian was arrested and asked if anyone else had been arrested, it wasn't some cryptic mind game, it was a genuine question. He assumed the police had caught his twin too. And here's where it gets even crazier. What if their identical DNA was part of the plan? A forensic nightmare. Identical twins share the same genetic markers, making it nearly impossible to distinguish between them through standard DNA testing. Some rare studies suggest subtle epigenetic differences can tell them apart, but good luck using that in a court case. If both twins' DNA was at the crime scene, who could prove which one was actually there? Of course, it's just a wild theory. But hey, in a case like this, the truth might be stranger than fiction. Disclaimer, this is purely satire and should be taken as such, unless, of course, you choose not to. While fictional, it's no more far-fetched than some of the wild theories about Brian Kohberger that others have seriously entertained. Tale was purposely misspelled. Written by BNN staff, BNN makes absolutely zero money off these articles.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe I should throw it into ChatGPT and say, throw that into the mix of the Kohberger case. Could one twin actually have bushy eyebrows and the other not? Maybe the one that we're seeing in court right now that has the eyebrows shaved is the other one. And maybe they're both in prison and the defense attorney knows it at this point. Is going to shed light on it at trial and bring the other one in, you know? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's... Here, let's see. What would it say? In bro mode, add this theory to what you already know about Brian Kohberger. This isn't true information, of course. Let's see. Bro mode activated. Here we go. Oh, God. It's a joke. M10. It's a satire. So if you're coming in late, it's...
Bro mode activated. Kohberger's Evil Twin Theory Edition. Alright, buckle up, because this isn't just your run-of-the-mill Kohberger studied criminology and got to into Dexter theory. Nah, this one rips the whole plotline from a Netflix Originals meets Maury Povich meets Criminal Minds fever dream. So here's the vibe. B is for Brian, A is for Arian. Together, they spell double trouble. You ever look at Brian Kohberger and think, dude looks like he's fighting an internal war with himself, or maybe someone exactly like himself? Well, this theory's got you. Picture this, Mom Kohberger in a postpartum haze straight out a David Lynch film gives birth to identical twin boys, both named Ryan Christopher because, apparently, creativity was not in the delivery room that day. Hospital staff, confused and overworked, decide to slap an A and B on the cribs like they're tagging items at a garage sale. And boom, Arian A and Brian B are born into bureaucratic madness. Arian vanishes into the shadowy realm of closed adoptions. No paperwork, no digital trail, just vibes. Brian, the criminology student. Arian, the ghost in the mirror. Now fast forward. Brian's grown up with this phantom limb syndrome of the soul. Like part of him is missing. He doesn't know why he feels so incomplete, but it starts to click. And once Brian finds out the truth, oh bro, it's game on. With the obsessive energy of a true crime Reddit mod on Adderall, Brian tracks down his long-lost clone. Their reunion isn't heartwarming, it's strategic, tactical. Like two Dark Mirror images meeting in a C-tier Christopher Nolan plot twist. They're the same, bro. Same voice. Same eyebrows you could land a Boeing 737 on. Same eerie, dead-eyed stare. It's like looking into a Black Mirror episode and realizing the reflection has its own thoughts. Tag-teaming life like psychopathic parent traps. For years they do twin swaps like it's Freaky Friday but make it felony. One's in class, the other's studying victimology in a Starbucks. One aces a psych test. The other is practicing lockpicking in a Walmart parking lot. People start whispering, isn't Kohberger in class right now? So how is he at this vegan potluck asking weird questions about skinning animals? 2 white Elantras? Pff, one's Brian's, one's Arian's. One white, one lime green like a GTA skin mod. Totally normal for evil clones. Enter 1122 King Road. Everything was set. The plan? Surgical, flawless. Like Zodiac met the Prestige. Except, they miscounted. Oops. Enter Arian. He's the backup QB in this drive-by philosophy thesis gone homicidal. Dylan Mortensen hears a voice. Soft, low, creepy AF. It's okay. I'm going to help you, bro. That wasn't Brian. That was Arian, stepping in like the world's most terrifying understudy. Has anyone else been arrested? A question or a twin check-in. So Brian gets grabbed by the cops, and what's his first move? He hits them with that line, the cryptic legend. Has anyone else been arrested? People thought it was smug, mysterious, psychological warfare. Nah, homie was genuinely confused. He was like, y'all didn't get Arian yet? This wasn't a solo gig, dog. We were trading kill turns like Pokemon cards. DNA? Good luck, CSI. Let's drop a little science here. Identical twins equal to identical DNA. So if there's a sample at the crime scene, you don't know which bushy-browed ninja left it. Unless the state of Idaho just happens to have a lab in 2025 running epigenetic methylation profiling under a blacklight, they're not going to prove jack. Forensics just turned into a choose-your-own-adventure nightmare. Final verdict. This theory might be bonkers, but let's be real. If anything could explain, the eyebrows being a character of their own, the teleportation-level sightings of Kohberger, the cryptic comments, the potential glove-tight crime scene control, the double Elantras, and that creepy "I'm here to help you" line. It's that Brian wasn't acting alone. He was just one half of a criminal hydra, a murdery Mario and Luigi with a shared GPA in sociopathy. But yeah, bro, total fiction. Unless you start seeing another Elantra parked outside your house with a dude in black and matching eyebrows. Then, good luck. Want me to turn this into a full-on true crime podcast episode script?
No thanks. That was pretty good though. It got your entire point and put it into the bro mode. Yeah, M10, you missed it right before that. Mike up there, he wrote something. He sent it to me. It was like a satire on the twin theory that we've actually brought up on here before randomly. That's pretty good. Yep, there you go. That was pretty cool how it took it and just worked with it.
So much grey, I needed this levity. Love it, bro.
Well, cool, little puppy paws. All right, so now I have to ask again, everybody. We're only at a third of the goal here, so if you guys are out there and have the ability to, and you like for example, the video I made earlier today, that takes up a lot of time. Probably we'll do some more working on it on the show later. But if you guys want to talk about different topics, maybe send in super chat with the question, and then we can discuss that. There's M10 with a super sticker. The defense has asked for everything. They are desperately trying to set him up for an appeal. Yeah, there's, he's... like, if Kohberger gets convicted, he has no shot of ever having another trial or anything like that. It's this guy... I mean, I don't see how he cannot be convicted. You'd have to have 12 stupid people on that jury. Now, one idiot can make it a hung jury. And I guess that's what they hope for, is that one of these dumbass pro-burger people who run around and comment all the time saying stuff like, there's no evidence he did it. Man, I mean, I don't... that statement is so inaccurate. It's mind-boggling. I don't know. Yeah, we've talked about they were all in sororities. Yeah. We've talked about that a whole bunch of times. That's why I've said that Bundy attacked the off-campus, sorority house, and that's exactly what he did here. Or, he attacked sorority girls off campus. I mention it quite often, actually. Yep, got no coffees. We're... Oh, cool. All right. Pings. Man, I hope we're not going to have another one of these nights again. Just... But let me tell you our... far from stupid, regardless of what they say about our state. Well, good. Well, I'm just saying there might be a conspiracy nutter on the jury. Like it doesn't matter if they're stupid or not. It's just
Thanks, great.
you just have to find one of those.
Ocean wave emoji. Ocean wave emoji.
What happened, Patricia? Are you okay? Or what's the yikes for? What happened? Are you okay? Alley kick. Let's see. The chances of Kohberger living in Ada County and getting a jury summons is low. I don't know, man. I think that's why they try to spread their thoughts all over the place. Unrelated, but what do you think about those inmates that escaped? I don't know. I don't really know what to do with that.
Unrelated,
like, yeah,
what do you think about those inmates?
They've caught 4 of them already, so I'm sure they'll catch the other ones.
Job? I'm sure they will be caught, though. Too much technology.
Well, yeah, it definitely was an inside job. They've even arrested the guy that was inside who made it possible for them to get out. But I don't really know how to cover something like that. There's no way to like track it down and like, oh, here's where they're at, and you could sit there and listen to the scanner for 10 hours and hope it picks up something, but I don't know. It's horrible though. I mean, there's murderers that got out. So hey, Patricia, what happened up there? Patricia, it looks like something happened. You said yikes, and then what the F? What happened? Are you on rewind about the twin theory, or? Dun, 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 dun. Anyone along I-10 better keep their doors locked. Right. I don't know what to do with it though. I just said that, millennial, that somebody was arrested already. Oh wow, I didn't know. Yeah. I mean, maybe we can look it up really quick if you want. Alright, maybe this will be good. Police arrest escaped inmate Corey Boyd in Iberville Street, Louisiana. State Police said. Law enforcement officers arrested escaped inmate Corey Boyd, 19, Tuesday evening, according to Louisiana State Police. So it must be another one. They're probably down to 5.
If Jana saw slider in kitchen was open, do you think she shut it? If so, how did he get it back open without leaving any blood?
I don't think she shut it. That's why. I think she started hearing noise and just kind of walked over there. And we don't know if there's if there's any blood, but it wasn't his blood. It was somebody else's blood. So maybe there is blood on the slider. We don't know. Let's see. Armored and marked police vehicles are in the 1400 block of Iberville Street, which was closed to foot traffic. The FBI said its agents tracked Boyd to the location and state police made the arrest. Boyd will be booked into secure state facility outside the area on simple escape. Boyd is the 5th inmate apprehended. Now, so he's the 5th. All right. As many days after he and 9 others at the New Orleans jail broke free and fled. It's pretty crazy how they got out, though. I mean, like behind a toilet or something, they make a hole in the wall, and then there was some other part behind that had to be sort of jimmied open, and they get out. It was kind of like watching Escape from Alcatraz or something. Maybe, I know what happened to Grizo up there. She said something, I don't know if something happened to her. She said, what the F or something, and then, I don't know. Anybody know? Yeah, Patricia Grizo said, what the F? And then a second later she said, no, right before that she said, yikes, or something. Like yikes? Or maybe she thought the twin story was real. I don't know. Hard to say. Oh, the missing shower curtain? Oh, what did you hear about the missing shower curtain? We don't know if there's a missing shower curtain. People claim that all the time. I see something that looks like a curtain there. It could just be the outer part. Maybe the shower curtain is missing, but we don't know if there's a shower curtain missing for certain. Where did you read that? Huh? No, I was just asking. Oh, jeez. Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know what Paulette's saying or anything. I'm just talking about the who mentioned shower curtain. I don't see it. The missing shower. That was the only time it was ever mentioned. Yeah, I don't think there's a missing. We can even look at the picture here. Let's see. All right, anyways, let's go back here. He was initially jailed in connection with the killing of a witness who caught him and 2 others trying to break into their car. Ah, jeez, what an idiot. In that incident, Mr. Brandon Fees, 38, was shot before Boyd allegedly struck him with a vehicle. A shooter, who police didn't identify, then stood over Fees and shot him in the head. Boyd pleaded not guilty in September. The 5 escapees, still at large, are Antoine Massey, Lenton Van Buren, Jermaine Donald, Leo Tate, and Derek Groves. How did the 10 inmates escape? It says a maintenance worker has been arrested and charged with helping 10 inmates carry out a brazen escape from a New Orleans jail last week, bolstering the suspicion among investigators that the escape would have been impossible without inside help. The worker, Sterling Williams, 33, who was arrested on Monday, shut off water at the jail, allowing the inmates to remove a metal toilet and sink fixture from a cell wall. And Louisiana Attorney General Office said Mr. Williams told investigators that an inmate had threatened to shank him if he did not shut off the water, according to an affidavit supporting his arrest. The inmate then used an unidentified tool to cut steel bars behind the cell room sink, leaving behind a hole in the wall just big enough to crawl through, and a taunting misspelled message. Too easy, LOL. Yeah, I was written on it. The inmate left the jail through a loading dock, scaled a wall using blankets to protect themselves from barbed wire, and ran across Interstate 10. A civilian employee of the sheriff's office, who was the only person monitoring security system in the part of the jail where the escape occurred, had left his station at the time to get food. Yeah, so there you go. I don't really know what we can do about it. Yeah, so what was the part about the... I don't know what's going on in the chat. The missing shower curtain. And then... I don't know any comments that anybody was making. I didn't see it. I haven't seen anything. Where are you reading these comments, Patricia Griza? You keep typing in stuff like, yikes, skinning animals. Where is this stuff coming from? I'm not talking about any of that stuff. Anybody know? They went out the hole, Sherry. Okay? It's not a conspiracy. Nobody invented something. They went through the hole. So whether it's small or not, I don't remember talking about skinning animals. Was that in the parody? I don't remember. I know, right, Robin? It's just crazy. But we're currently at about 35% of the goal, so definitely need you guys' support. Okay, it was in the bro mode of your satire article. Okay, I see. I didn't remember reading that. Sometimes I look at chat and I miss something. And where did it mention shower curtains in that, or? See, there's like that picture right there. You see that thing on the wall right there? That thing? That's not straight up and down. It's actually like, here, I'll save it off so you can see what I'm talking about.
This case has been so in secret for all these years, but now the trial is coming close, and it feels like, of course, the public has a right to know with these documents, right? But now it also seems like both sides want the potential jury.
Man, she's still out there? That's crazy. Like, isn't there a Canosaurus or something? See that? Does that look like that's part of... Look how it's thin up there, and then it gets wider, and then it goes down. So that's probably a curtain of some sort. So is the plastic inside missing, or is that really just the curtain sitting there? And this is... I think this is flipped, too, so the image doesn't really look the way it looks right here. It doesn't really let you flip it in this program, though. Unfortunately. You flip it over, and that's actually his right hand there, and he's filming himself with his left hand. Hey, thanks, M10. At least somebody's out there supporting. Thank you.
I've been sending my cousin
your
vids.
vids.
She was a pro-burger, even trying to argue with me at her own son's wedding. Called me today saying BK is the guy. It was the vid for her.
Called me today saying Brian Kohberger is the guy. It was... Which video? Was it the one that convinced her? She was a pro-burger, even trying to argue with me at her own son's wedding. Oh, jeez. Called me today saying BK is the guy. It was the vid. Which video was it that she saw? That's pretty cool, though. Awesome. I think some of the videos I've made have had, like, I think a dramatic effect on people. They did the same thing in the Delphi case, because I put together the facts in a way that, like, if you were sitting on a jury or just somebody, like on a television show, that you wish they would do it that way, where you're watching it and you see it and you go, oh, wow, jeez, that couldn't be any more clear. Yep, wow, you know, like that. That's how I try to do it, where it's just kind of simple stuff, no, you know. No, it doesn't mean, I mean, I guess she had an open mind. I mean, but it's not really open, right? Like, at some point, I think when people think that, like, if you're still arguing today that Kohberger is absolutely innocent, then there's something wrong with your brain, okay? So, I mean, I could see at the very beginning saying, oh, yep. No way, man, and have theories and so forth. But then as soon as all these documents and pieces of information have come out, it's just, oh, I guess you're right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, she was open-minded to change her mind. Yeah, I guess that should have been obvious. I don't know why I didn't pick up on that right when you said it. Right. I thought you were, I don't know why I went back to the worst possible meaning that could mean. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Hey, thanks, M10. And I say, do we have any coffees at this point? Oh, we got, yeah, Mike did one. The bro mode. That was pretty good, wasn't it? And then Lisa Valenzuela, the coffee lady. She's the coffee queen. I bet most pro-burgers are anti-law enforcement. Right. You know what's weird is and that the anti-law enforcement is it's weird how popular it is in the quote true crime world. You don't think that's a little weird that it's just so popular? I think a lot of people have a fundamental misunderstanding of the justice system and law, and sometimes just reality. I think we should watch my sort of the recent video that I did. Not today's, but which one was it? Yeah, like this one. It just didn't do anywhere near as well as it should have done. I mean, it's got 15,000 views, but that's not good for this quality of videos, in my opinion. You know, if I do say so myself, but, you know, this is before, I'm not sure what I was doing here. Let me see. Let me get to the part where... Yeah, look at that. So 332.48. This is when it came around the first time. I think I actually put the whole part in. Let's see. If I go back. Don't I start? Yeah, now back here. Yeah, this is better. So this is all in order. Dude, look how good this video is. If you're just watching it. See, it's like right now the vehicle's driving in front of 500 Queen Road, right? See this? This is what it would look like inside that car. And as a matter of fact, I think we can go back a little bit further, right to here. There we go. So look at, let's start right here. And so what's going to happen is when the car comes down like this, the first time it turns in like this. So here we go. And here it comes. And see, there it goes right down King Road. And then turns left on the Queen Road. I mean, do you guys want to see this part again? Because it's just so clear and obvious. And then 3:30, 34 seconds, you can see that was the white Elantra driving by, but apparently it's a lime green Elantra by a guy who lives there, missing a front plate, who drives around in circles late at night just for the hell of it. And this is in front of 500 Queen Road. And then it goes back in that back parking area back there. And then here it comes. See, there it is on the camera as it's coming around into view there. This is the 1330 Linda Lane. Then it drives back there, and there it is. See, you can see on the left-hand side, there's the car driving in that little tiny area back behind. And then it goes behind the building here. And then as it's coming around this corner here, you can see the headlights. He probably turned earlier to the right, but the headlights beam over onto a building over there, 1127. That's also picked up on the 1112 camera that showed the vehicle coming in. That camera picks up all kinds of different lights and movements. So then it sits back here, and this time it sits back here for over a minute. Like literally sits back here, looking into the room, which is right up here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we're still about like 15 or 20 memberships short of reaching a number where I can donate the 5. So if you guys are out there, if you could please help support the channel. Thank God for M10 there. Got us somewhere where we're moving. Alright, so it just sits there for like a minute. And it's just sitting right on the side of the house. That's the 1122 is right there on the left, that building there. And it's crazy because the first pass is kind of like his first, it's almost like a dry run for the final. Like he actually probably was like, wow, I can sit here this whole time and nobody came by. And then he's leaving, and then I think it's picked up on this camera right here again. I think it has this one. Let's see. Yeah, so right there it is. See, boom. It's leaving at 3:33:06. Coming around the corner. Now there's Sigma Chi right in the front. Then the vehicle takes a left here. But what are you talking about, Go Beach Escort? That's what we're watching right now as you're staring at the screen. And now we're on to Willanta Drive behind. And then those lights are seen on 1112 King Road. And then right here, lights are seen behind 1119 King Road on the same camera. 1112 King Road that films the white Elantra coming in, films all these different events. Hey, thanks, Ivan Victor and Von Dozen. I like saying that name, Von Dozen. Yeah. I don't understand that question. I put out this video like a week ago combining the Dateline footage with footage I've already had. And apparently you're one of the non 15,000 that saw it. So here it comes at 3:38, coming back in for pass number 3. And then it goes up the hill. And it's interesting to watch the lights, because you can actually see those lights on the Linda Lane camera as they kind of travel down the building as it makes its way up the hill. It makes it to the top, because once it gets to the top, the headlights then tilt down. And there it coming around again. You know, me slowing down there isn't part of what he was doing, but so here it comes around again, and this is the 339. This is the second pass. And then this time it only stops for like 20 seconds back there. Oh yeah, the OKC. Yeah, they were getting killed earlier. Now they're just smoking Minnesota. Yeah. So this time when it comes around on this pass, it stops here for only about 20 seconds. But this, what I'm showing you here, it's not guessing, it's not anything like that. It's absolute factual information, okay? This is based on the timing of when it would pass the camera, etc. I know exactly what this is doing. I have the timeline all in a spreadsheet. I've looked at it. I know exactly what I'm talking about. So it only stopped for about 20 seconds on pass number 2 and 3, but it did a minute 20 or like a minute 10 or whatever on the first pass. Way longer. And then here it goes, leaving again. All right, and there it is at 3:40 on that camera. Now let me move it back here just for a second. Watch. I'm going to show you guys something. So see this camera up here, right back here, right where my mouse is. Can you see where it's moving right above November? You can see the lights of the Elantra driving by right there. In 30 seconds from now, it drives up here. They didn't show that for some reason. That's the thing about these shows like Dateline and everybody. They don't put out all this stuff that would make people go, ooh, look at that. Yeah. It's weird. I mean, don't you think people would be interested in that? To say, look, when it comes around, they mention how you can see the lights right here, and you can see them right there. And on all 3 passes, all 4 as a matter of fact, the first 3, you could see the car back here, and then when it finally left after its 4th pass, it does the same thing. 4 different times, it did the same thing. So there it goes. It's going around, and then it comes around here. Now, on that same camera that we were just looking at, I'll show you. So after it turns here, and the vehicle starts going around this turn right up here, these lights are seen on that camera right now, right around in here somewhere. And then, right up here, this is when the car is spotted, the lights of it, behind that building. 1119 King Road. And then it goes back up here and does various things, and then it comes back again. And this time I'm going to just, look at the time. I'm zipping through because it doesn't make it back for 16 minutes. Thank you, Harry, me boy. You've got to be Irish with that name. So this is the time where it's just driving all around, back, behind. Who the hell knows what it's doing? It's interesting, in the first episode, they mentioned the gas station footage. And that doesn't seem to be a reality based on the new information that's been put out. But man, that vehicle sure does look like it could be like the vehicle. Oh, there's that guy running by right there, by the way. 351. No, he's not running, he's walking, and this is 10 times the speed. All right, hey, thanks, Linda. Linda Howe, as in Linda Moulton Howe of the Cattle Mutilations and Crop Circles. Man. I think OKC will win in 4 if they make it to the finals. They'll just smoke who's ever coming out of the East. All right, here we go. So this is pass number 3, and this is the really interesting one. This pass is really consequential for a lot of reasons. Like if he was just 2 minutes earlier than this, things wouldn't have happened. It turns out that this pass is through fate, connected to the DoorDash delivery. And the DoorDash delivery changed a few different things The DoorDash delivery itself, and then the timing of the delivery. So if you look at the clock right here, it's 3:57. In about 2 minutes and I'd say about, I think that the key fob, when he presses the key fob and the vehicle makes the honking sound, that's the DoorDash delivery guy, because it's right at 3:59, 40 something. So if you look at the clock, it's 3:57:45. And then what time do you guys think? Here, let me hit pause here. And if you guys could please help support the channel, that'd be great. We need to keep moving here. What time do you think that the, let's see, does the DoorDash driver pull into the complex? You know, takes the left on King Road. If the, let's see, if he honks the horn at 3:59:46. You know, picture him driving south on King Road, east on Queen, and then pulling into 1122 parking area. Then, you know, getting out of the car and then pressing the button. So what time do you think that would be? I'm pausing it right now. So if it goes off at 3:59, you know, 3:59:46. No, I can't. It wouldn't take a minute and 3:58. No way, man. I mean, he sat in his car for a minute and 46 seconds before he hit the key fob. Why would he do that? Wouldn't he just pull up, grab the bag, get out of the car? Yeah, D. Rich, that's probably more accurate. Like 3:59:10. You know, hey, D. Rich, we're just working on. Let me just work through this stuff, okay? I don't need you to put the theories and all that other stuff in there, okay? Right. So anyway, and he doesn't leave at that. That's not the time he leaves. I've got the time. All right. So yeah, I think the 3:56. How does he leave before he even? I don't understand. I don't understand that one. It's past 3:56 right now. His key fob goes off at 3:59:46. All right. Here, let me just throw this out on the screen here. Right here, all the purple, those are the key fob sounds. So look at it, 3:59:04. That's when, see, isn't it interesting that some of you said 3:59:10? I think that's totally legitimate. And let's see, what was this? Right. Yeah, so it's right around that time. I mean, it could be earlier, like 3:59, something like that. What do you mean 4:01? What do you guys keep typing in stuff that doesn't make sense? Here, just listen for a second. His key fob goes off at 3:59:46. That means he's out of the car, right? At the house. He's at 1122 King Road at 3:59:46. Key fob is 3:59:46, 48, and 51. Like deet, 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 like that, right? Okay? How can something happen before it even happens? Or after? I don't really get it. All right. But anyways, and then at 4 o'clock and 14 seconds, headlights are seen northbound on Willanta Drive coming back again. So this is what's so interesting. The key fob sounds of him getting back to the car are at 4 o'clock and 27 seconds, and then 4 o'clock and 28 seconds. So what D. Rich typed in up there isn't, his number 402 isn't accurate. All right, it's right here, and this is how it all makes sense. Why? So watch. Let's go with this. 3:59:04. The headlights are seen behind, and if we say 3:59:10, so Here's what I'm trying to get you guys to look at. So when the car is right here, right there parked, the DoorDash delivery, how long does it take to get from here to here? And then, you know, like get out of his car and then hit his key fob. He's not hitting it while he's in the car. So how long does that take? I mean, we could almost time it here. Let's see, when we watch this video. Wherever the hell it is. I don't know where it is now. Oh, it was on YouTube. That's right. Here we go. So it's sitting here. 357.56. He's not there yet. No, it doesn't. It doesn't go beach escort. You're incorrect again. Just if you follow my show, you'll have the correct information. You do not have the correct information. So here it is at 358.10. And then it turns here. And then let's just kind of look at it like from right here. Actually, let's go back a little bit. Let's just pretend. So when the car's right here, this is almost equivalent to pulling in. Let's just go to right. We'll go a little bit right next to that car. Okay. And then we'll be able to get a better time. So right here, all right? So that's about where, just to the left is the parking spot. So look at what time it is, 3:58:12. And let's see what time it is when we exit. So 3:58:12, you go around this corner. I'm sure the DoorDash guy isn't speeding off. No, why would it be 1 or 2 minutes? Anyways, he gets right here, 3:58:12. So we're like 21 seconds. I have to be precise here, not just sort of randomly. All right, so 3:58:44, so it was 12. That means it took, let's just say 32 seconds. All right, so then you go to, that guess earlier was pretty good, because if you go take 32 seconds off of 3:59:46, you'd be at 3:59:14. All right, so at 3:59:14-ish, the vehicle comes in. If like it went boom, so let's add like 20 more seconds to that. So it would actually be about so it'd be 52 seconds. So it'd be like 3:58:50 something, right? Because, you know, he pulls up, you know, grabs the phone, you know, let's just conservatively say 20 extra seconds. So 32 plus 20 would be 52. And so that means, let's see. So if you subtract 52 from the DoorDash first beep sound, you get 3:58. Let's see, 3:58. So if that was a minute, so it was almost a minute. I'm just trying to do the math. 52 seconds. I think it would be 52. So 3:59:52, something like that, right? Or 3:58. So it'd be 3:58:52 when the DoorDash driver pulls into the complex. And so that's crazy, right? So when you look at the time here on this, look what time it is right now. 3:58:44, so like 6 seconds later. So right when he's turning here, he probably sees this car coming down, and he's aware of it. And then he goes around this corner up here, and he's kind of looking back, and then right about now, he sees the car turning onto King Road. So he's driving ultra slow back here now. He's watching that vehicle. He's watching it. And he knows up in this area, he can see that car. And let's see what time do we got now. He's probably really slow here, and he watches it pull in front of the house. So he probably didn't even keep driving right here. And then after that, he goes up and does a U-turn and quickly comes back around. I mean, So he comes back into the area at, so look at that, he turns around at 4 o'clock and 14 seconds. He's already coming back the other direction in the same spot that we're at right now. So that's only a minute after this. So right now the DoorDash guy is not even out of his car yet. Because at 3:59 and 46 seconds, right about this time, you hear the beeping. The beep, beep, that's what's happening. All right now. And I sped it up again. And that's just, I mean, I'll show you what happened. So on here, if we look at it like that, the DoorDash driver is about right there when Kohberger's pulling out, maybe right here. And then he watches as he drives around. You can see the car coming in, and it pulls into here. And he drives really slow. Then he comes right here and does a U-turn. And he comes right back at 4:14. He's right here. And the DoorDash driver is still there because he doesn't hit the key fob again until 4 o'clock and 27 seconds. Right? You guys get it? At 4:14, he's right back here. He looks over, and he hasn't even hit the key fob yet. So he drives around like this. And then I would say Kohberger he drove past because he doesn't want to pull in and get spotted by the DoorDash driver. So he's likely about right here-ish when the DoorDash driver is starting to leave. And then Kohberger, because of that incident, drives by the Ridge Road camera, and we get the one shot of his headlight missing, him missing a front license plate and the right make, year, and model and everything. That's a huge get, only because the DoorDash driver was there. And then he comes back around, etc. And then that's why he also does the three-point turn. He comes in here, he looks, he knows that there was a car there, and he's looking for activity. So he goes back over here, does a three-point turn, goes back this direction, looking again, and then he does another three-point turn, comes back, looks again, and he goes, screw it, I'm going. And he zips around, and he parks, and he's there for 13 minutes when the murders happen. Isn't that amazing? There you go. What in tarnation? What do you mean, Dr. Professor? What do you mean, Gadzoo? Who are you? You always do the same bullshit when you come in here. I'm sure you probably enjoy the clown. Or maybe you're on rewind and you're watching the twin theory. Right, so then we'll play this part again. It's going to scroll forward until about 4 o'clock. And this is when you'll see it do the DoorDash maneuvers. Right here, watch. I'm clicking through. This is when it drives back all the way around by Ridge Road, back around. Now it comes back into the complex again. King Road. And then right up here, that is 1112 King Road right there. And it's going to film. It doesn't actually film. They didn't show it on the documentary. It coming back in at 404 for some reason. I don't know why they didn't show it. So now it's going back behind 500 Queen Road. And then when it gets over here, it does the three-point turn. Hey, Patricia. And here it is. You can see it up at the top of the screen. It comes in, and then it drives over to the left, and then it backs up, does a three-point turn, and exits the area. It actually stops for about 10 seconds. I wonder what he did in those 10 seconds. That's sort of an interesting... Why did he pause there? And then he goes back around the front of the building. And I filmed this. See? Watch. I'm in my car. I drove this exact... right here behind. I only did this one time, by the way. Just like he did. And then in front of us is 1119 King Road, that house straight down there. And look how my lights went on the building and then down off of it as I went down the hill. And I cut over to this camera when I don't really have equal, like I don't have any footage that mimics what they say. I think I was talking to somebody there. And then I drive off, the security guard came over. And then I drive over here. And then that's right, I cut over to the surveillance footage of it doing the 3-point turn. So here it is. There's the white Elantra. Of course, it's lime green if you're a Kohberger. And then it does a 3-point turn. And then it drives down Queen Road here. And now it's go time, as it were. He just drives right around the corner. 407.20. I have it all timed up. So, like, this is exactly when it comes around that corner. Picked up on the camera up there. 427.32. It's going really fast. Goes back around the backside right here again. And then the vehicle is going to park. You can see as it comes around here, the headlights hit 1127 over there, and then boom, parks right here, and probably pulls forward a little bit. I would say at 408 he probably parked, and then he got out of the vehicle. I don't know, maybe like 410. You know, he might have been, or he might have been out of the vehicle earlier, but he was getting blood spatter mitigation ready. See how dark it is right there? So that's what it looks like when you turn your headlights off. I froze it on the one shot where nothing was on. So he's just sitting there. And I think at like 4:10 he goes into the house. Yeah, we're still about, it's weird, I thought we were ahead of it. We're still about only 66% of me being able to give away the 5 memberships. So we need another, like, I don't know, like 20, 20 memberships or some combination of that. Come on, you guys. You can do it. What do you mean his actions speak otherwise? Whose actions? I personally think he was under some influence that night. I doubt it. I don't agree with you. His influence was he wanted to kill that night. I know you want it to be a reason and give your boy a chance, but he wasn't. All right, so the car's just sitting there, and then I think at some point, like at 4:10, I just zipped through. Or I think in this video, didn't I put in the 7 Minutes of Hell version, which isn't the same as I have now? Like I would actually, then switch over to this. This is what he does when he goes inside the house. Well, it sounds like it, because you're making excuses for him, like he's on drugs. I don't think he was on anything. He was there to kill. Anyways, he goes up the stairs, and then goes into the room. And he's killing. Dylan opens her door, hears something, sounds like somebody playing with a dog. There's more fighting going on up there, and she shuts her door. She doesn't really know. Then Xana comes out, taking her bag of food back to the kitchen. I guess it's Jack in the Box. Notices that the sliding glass door is open. Then she starts hearing something herself up there, and then she goes to investigate. She doesn't know what the hell's going on. So she goes up the stairs. Makes her way to the top. And he's down there doing whatever the hell he's doing. And then she sees him and backs up. Oh yeah, and then see that I have her go down the stairs there. But I need one more shot at the top where it shows her turning really quick and then going down the stairs. She's looking up to where he would come from, right? Something like that. I have to re-film that. I'm not sure why it looks like that weird shape like that. So there you go. And back to this. So those are the homicides were taking place during that time. So you guys, is there any chance you guys can help reach the goal tonight? We're just on a long, massive lull again with no support, nothing. We need more channel memberships. We're currently at 66%. Yeah, that's cool. What they used it before, and they were going to use it in another one. Some incident on top of a roof, but I think that one's settled. You mean doesn't? I don't think it has one. I don't know. Now there's M10 helping out again. Gifted a membership. Thank you, M10. Yeah, you're always helping out so much. So here he is. He went back out to the car now. He's heading to the car. So this is after, I sped it up to 10 minutes there. And then comes out, heading away. I doubt it has OnStar, Patricia. I mean, it's like a older, it's 10 years old. And now he's leaving at a high rate of speed. Look how fast this sucker's going. That does seem pretty quick. I mean, it's... And then leaves on Volanta Drive. And then 27 minutes after this, it pings near Blaine. It should have pinged there in just 10 minutes. And here I just sort of fade it out right here. See, wasn't that a cool video? Like, wouldn't you think that that video would get more views? And yeah, it doesn't matter. It's a 2015. I'm sure it doesn't have OnStar. And he wouldn't put OnStar on there. I mean, that would just be dumb.
August can't come fast enough.
I had to get the air conditioning going. Yeah. It's like really hot in here. I kept measuring my temperature today. It was like 90 degrees. My wife was normal, but I put it on my forehead, I was 90. I was like, what the hell's going on? And it was like 91 and hey, thanks, D. Rich. Yep, August can't come fast enough. It is frozen. It's not playing, Mary. Great observation. Hey, Naomi. It's freaking cold here. I had a space heater on today. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good for you. I'm sure you can buy OnStar. Sure. Yeah, it's good for you. Are you coming down with something? I don't know. Well, because I had the heater on. My air conditioner, I have one of those, I'm not sure what you call it, like a splitter. And it gets like, it's stupid. You set it to 71, it'll make it go 80. But if you put it like 60, so I had it up too high, so it was really hot in here. And so now I'm switched it to colder. I don't know. The trial's going to talk about too much. I don't know. But my wife was kind of sick, so I don't know. Maybe I'll catch something. I don't know. But that's not why I'm warm. It was just too hot in here. Hey, thanks, Naomi Rollins. So what's the new prevailing theories that are going on out there? This one lady did this whole research thing. She's showing me all these different, the theories that are out there. It's actually pretty good. I haven't had a lot of time to look at the whole thing yet, but it's, it has the Brent Kopacka theory. Oh, look at that. They have the Aryan Night. Hey, I don't know if you knew that, though, but did you know that theory, Mike? The Aryan Knights prison gang theory? There you go. Aryan Kohberger. Perfect. Did you already know that one? Yeah, there may have been 2 weapons used. We don't know. That's what they say. No, Ethan wasn't killed at the bedroom door. Yeah. Ethan was killed on the bed where they found him. Yeah, no, weird. Yeah, it says the Aryan Knight prison gang theory. For now, I presume you have everything from a screenshot, but yeah, spelled, just like you said. That's pretty funny. And then the Brent Kopacka theory, and I think that was the only 2 theories. The Brent Kopacka one's pretty big. I guess I'll have to go through this at some point soon. I'm not interested in those. It's just so obvious. So the other theories that are out there are complete bullshit, So it's like you're just wasting your time. Right. Well, I guess that's the thing is I'm not going to tell you all these other theories that people have. Hey, thanks, Florence White. I try to stay away. Almost all the comments under my last video are pretty good, but you always got somebody complaining about something. Gray, why did you make it red? I can't see it on my phone. Well, get a better phone. How about that, huh? Spend a couple $1,000 on a better phone so you can watch these videos.
Some work, Grant Hughes.
It's just interesting to see the abyss of dopes. Yeah, I just, I don't really spend a lot of time. Like somebody go, great, have you seen this one? I know the general concept, you know, like lime green elantras. And I know that they think that because it's lime green, the reflective qualities of lime green can look white sometimes on night vision cameras. So, and this guy's missing a front license plate, so therefore it has to be his driving around inside the complex. You know, of course he lives there. The guy that they think, you know, the lime green elantra, he lives there. So that night he just happened to drive around and park outside the house when the killings happen, even though he lives there. I mean, why didn't he just walk over and do the killings? You know? Well, Gray, he just witnessed the killings. Stringing at straw. What does that mean? Stringing at straws they do. What? You mean grasping at straws? Yeah. Hey, thanks so much, Kimmers. All right.
Appreciate your work.
So what are we at now? We are about 10 channel memberships short of where I'll donate 5 myself. Well, you guys, how about you guys, if you have something to talk about, we can talk. You send a super chat in and we'll talk about it, or buy some membership and then put a comment and I'll read it. Something to talk about, but I think I want to try to, maybe I can make a couple more of the shots in here. That's what we've been working on. Yeah, so 10 memberships are equivalent, which is, I think that's $50. So if we get 10, just 10 memberships or equivalent, then I'll donate the 5 memberships. All right? There you go. Videos and bringing, yeah, well, like the lime green elantra was from over a year ago. I found it on YouTube. I thought it was new. I was like, ooh, wait a minute, this is a year old. These idiots just went out and scavenged some old, some YouTuber's video and then are claiming they came up with it now. Felt he drove around trying to decide to do the crime. No, he wasn't doing that. I don't think they said that. I think he was just waiting for the right time. He just kept circling like a shark. Yep. Do those idiots know how few people are driving around Moscow, Idaho at 4 a.m.? No, but 2 elantras missing a front plate are. You see, that's the amazing part about it. And that's why it could be his twin, like like Mike Weber was saying. I don't know why they didn't show the door. Really frustrating. They didn't show the DoorDash, and they didn't show the like actually the car coming in at 4:04 either. They didn't show that. And they never showed any of the lights behind on Walanta Drive. Man, you guys really jumped on the challenge to get those 10 memberships. seen comments where they were killed outside and taken into the house. Man, I know, these people, it's just, it's unreal what people will believe. It's scary, actually. I've seen comments where the just for kicks and views or otherwise locking in common sense, those people are, man, lacking. He did say that. Hey, Naomi Rollins, gifted one. Gray Hughes. Hey, there you go. See, there's one. I don't know how they could be killed outside. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, how does it even happen? Why would they go outside? So somehow Kaylee ran outside, and and where's all the blood from being killed outside? Yeah, cleanup operations. Right, yeah, Dylan and Bethany are cleaning stuff up in there. And then they mixed in all the freaked out text messages in between. Oh, there's Kimmers. Look at that. There's 2 now. 2 out of 10. Looks like Oklahoma won the first game going away there. I think they're going to win the whole thing. I would have been really pissed if they'd lost that last round. All right. File, import. So what's one of the ones? 180 turn with briefcase. Let me try that. Here we go. Now, so I need to go the other way. One D turn with briefcase 2. That one. Very much to make the most sense. Yeah. Yeah. So if I had it like that, and like just like that, so that's all I would need. It's kind of like that shot. After she backed up, turn it. She came from the room over there, right? So she'd be like right here, and then right after that, just turns, and then I can wait. So oh wait, that's what I want right there. I need to rotate it. I'm just trying to find one little quick little cut to use to indicate that they're turning down the stairs. You always have to have the little indicators so people don't get confused. So if you go like that, it's only going to be, it's going to be really short. Let's see right there, and then like a 1 step forward. And yeah, so that's actually a 28. Let's see, 27. And that's only right there to 50, not even a second. Look at that, Joseph Brennan. All right. Let me do the share. Let's see, we got a whole bunch of people. Welcome, everybody. And there we go. This is 13. So let's see. Let me move the camera from here. Oh wait, before I do that, I gotta. Oh, god dang it. Shoot. I know which one to use now, though. Oops. Okay, I gotta record that again, or I'll miss it. But look at the feet. Can you see that? The feet don't do anything. See that? Because the whole thing was messed up, but the body movement with the arms and everything worked the same. But you can't see it because it's behind the rail. So, let's see. Render setup. It's, yeah, wow, that's weird. It got switched over to some crazy, yeah, that's stupid. HD video, and then it was supposed to be 19. There we go. And 1 to 30. That's right. So here we go. Isn't that a cool little trick that I used there? Isn't it so much fun on live? Awesome job, all. Yeah, it is fun. Wait, did somebody else? Or was that just me and all 15 of these memberships coming in? Alright, there we go. So it looks like this is bigger. We got the right size. And then we'll go back and create that other shot that it just needed to show a slight little turn and then goes down the stairs, right? And then we'll have Kohberger running out and turning towards the stairs. And then maybe we also have him going down the stairs. And it's just going to be the same order. Because he's just a little bit behind her. He's going to chase her. What? What do you mean screaming? What happened? I just saw I was gifted a membership. Thank you, whoever did. Yeah, who knows? There's 32 memberships given out. No, there's no screaming at a dumpster. Come on. Can we not do the dumpster shit, please, you guys? You know, yeah, that stuff's so old and stupid at this point. The dumpster, or somebody's throwing something in a dumpster, and this other car drove by and they're collecting something out of it. It's just really, it's ludicrous, you know? I'm sorry that you got suckered by one particular YouTuber who sells that theory over and over and over again. That guy is a complete lunatic buffoon, and if you watch and you know, see, when you know the case and you listen to somebody else, you just go, oh God, oh Jesus, oh well. Whew. What do you mean a 13-minute gap in time? Yeah, I did that. Patricia, did you not pay attention? Yeah, 4:08 to 4:20 and 47 seconds. Yeah, I showed it all. I just sped it up. If you watch the screen, I speed it up. As I explained, even when I did it. Okay, well, you got to put like little laughing emojis, etc. You sound just like the rest of them, you know. So it's hard to tell the difference. Oh, I see some of your sarcastic comments now. We were giving the conspiracies we've heard. Oh. Oh, right, yeah. Like, yeah, Lisa Valenzuela spends a lot of her time underneath the comment section of my videos. At least today's videos, most of the comments were nice. What was one of the dumb ones, though? It was like, I don't know. People always have they go, well, I think this, and I go, I know, but Dateline had an inside source of law enforcement, and that's what they believe. So maybe we can try that one. That makes sense to me. The only part that still doesn't make a lot of sense is the, it's okay, I'm here to help. Like that timing of that comment. Are you bored? Tocialiani? Or whatever the hell your name is. So many crazy conspiracy theories on YouTube. Yeah. Well, I know. So it's kind of boring for the lovers of conspiracy to watch this channel. Would only be a reason that... I know, we know why she said it. We know why Kohberger said it, not she. Okay, everybody knows the reason. It's when was the timing of it? Because before it made sense when, okay, he attacked Xana, and then he realized, you know, like, I mean, there was a theory of if you wanted to go with the left the knife accidentally. He attacks Madison and Kaylee upstairs, and he goes downstairs, and he hears somebody say, hey, there's somebody here, and then he goes and follows Xana, attacks Xana and Ethan. He thought he killed both of them. Then he goes upstairs looking for the knife again, but he can't find it. Then he goes back downstairs, and he hears the whimpering and realizes that Xana is still awake, or alive, and then says, hey, it's okay, I'm here to help, thinking that would trick her into believing, oh, now there's already help here, and keep her quiet, and then he attacks her. But it's weird to say I'm here to help when there's nobody injured. Like when you're chasing Xana down, it's okay, I'm here to help. Help with what? See, there's nothing that he's saying that would convince, like nothing's happened to Xana or Ethan at this point for him to say, I'm here to help and have that mean something to them. Help with what? You know, what are you talking about? See, that part. I don't know what that means, CJ Sky. Okay, have a great day. Whatever that means. Did something happen to you? Or what's the deal with the comments tonight, man? Whew, crazy. Oh, hi, CJ Sky. So CJ Sky said, hi, Gray. And then 8 comments later, because I hadn't already said hi back. Okay, have a great day. See you later. You know, listen, I don't see every comment every 2 seconds, okay? I'm just trying to do a show, you know? That's wild. Come on, calm down. The shameless pro-burgers, clickbait. Oh, yeah, they don't care, whatever they want to do. Alright, so now let's go back out, and I think that should be fixed in here. But hello back, you know, hello. Alright, so there it is. Okay, now let me save that one, and then I'm going to make a new one. $14. And right over here, switch the jeez, man, I didn't realize I had to read every hello and respond back. It's tough. Alright, so we figured it out. It was file, import, and then it was the number 2 here. Zip it in. You get what? What do you mean you get what? I don't know what that means. I'm doing something here. I don't know what you guys are saying when you say, did you get that? I don't know. I'm just trying to get this done. This is after backing up. This is number 25. Okay, so it probably needs to be a little bit more this way. Maybe slightly turn, maybe like that. There you go. See, that'd be pretty cool. What I'm gonna do though is just move it over to the left a little bit. All right. And how's that looking? Cell phone in the hand. Yeah, not great. Maybe you're talking about, let's see. Nope, there's no coffees or anything. So when you said, did you get that? I don't see anything. I don't know what you're referring to. Oh, it just came in as we were talking. If that's what you're talking about. Well, thank you. There it is. A Cash App. Well, thank you. There it is. Thank you. I didn't know. I couldn't even make out. I don't even, like, here's the thing, you guys. If you're responding to me again, type in a full sentence again. Like, hey, Gray, did you get that? Like, and then to me, I don't know what it means. Like you probably said above, hey, I sent you a Cash App, right? But I didn't see the first comment. So the second comment, you know, put in the whole sentence again, because I might see that one, right? But a lot of times people, they'll say, hey, Gray, did you see that special they had last week on Fox News? I don't respond because I'm doing something. Don't respond. And 20 minutes later, you know, the one about the seagulls? And then I look at the comment, it says, the one about seagulls? What the hell does that mean? And then, and then 3 minutes later, I get another one. What did you think about that, Gray? And I go, what? What are you talking about? But if all the next ones you say, hey, Gray, did you see that special again? Just like cut and paste it. That's okay, Monday. I know. I get it. I'm just saying it's hard for me because I'm not like the other YouTubers who their entire show is just staring at the chat. Like I'm actually trying to do something. Like a minute ago, somebody got angry because I didn't say hi fast enough within 8 comments of each other. All right, so 25, and we'll go to 25 to, what does that do? Huh, is that going to work like that? Kind of farther out. Oh, that might be pretty good. So I can just go from right here. Feet are kind of weird, but I guess you don't have to see the feet. This will be, I think this will work pretty good. World. Hey, Florence White, how's it going? You bastard. Man, it's so tedious, you know, sometimes. That's all I'm going to do, just that. I think it's like, it's crazy, the little things you had to do to give you the feeling of continuous motion. So let's see, we're going to do render, setup, and this is just going to be from 25 until when does it stop moving? Moving, not anymore, one back to 68. So 25 to 68, here we go. What's it look like? It's going to look shitty. I got to change the light, but let's just see what it looks like. Yeah, it might not look too bad. The light's down there. Might look kind of cool in the dark. Let's see. Maybe. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? Now, Kohberger's been pulled over, let's see, 4 times minimum that we know of in like a 3-month period. Maybe 5. Let's see, hopefully this works out, because it kind of has the appearance, remember how I had her backing up, and then now she's sort of backed up, but then she turns quickly to the right to go down the stairs. You get what I'm trying to do here? And you have to have that all in there, and then you can start doing larger ones, but these little tiny little things you got to put in there. And he goes down, and then I think like next, so once you see her down the steps, then the next thing you do is you cut over to Kohberger running out of the room, and then maybe you have her just a turn at the bottom of the first landing, heading down, and then we can assume she comes out the bottom, right? Because it's hard. That one's a hard one to do because there's no way to hide the shot of her legs. Yeah, whoever gave it to you, Indy Cindy, no problem. But, you know, there you go. Look at that. Simply Suspicious Shauna just gifted a membership. And if you're out there and you want to also help out, that'd be great, too. This channel relies on you guys and also is part of, we use ad revenue, super chats, etc. And at the end of the month, I give thousands of dollars away out of the income from the channel. But obviously there's a initial part, you know, that I have to make to survive as a channel, and then after that, then I give away a lot. So it's just kind of what my channel does, and that way as a group, that's why we've been able to do the scholarship funds, the DNA fund has been our biggest, like probably the most rewarding and you know, most expensive. Yeah. Where we're at on my video from earlier. Let's see. My earlier video, it says 8,712 views, which is not bad. But if you hit analytics, that's actually an updated one, and it's at 10,000 even. But it's only now getting 611 views an hour. So that means it's on its downward spiral, and might get to 12,000 or 13,000 views, but it's already struggling. So there you go. I think some of the law enforcement people, you know, they've watched my videos and it kind of, you know, at least the prosecutors anyways, and it kind of helps them, like they go, oh, look at that, and they do something similar but not exactly the same. And we've actually, you know, a long time ago, we actually came up with something that law enforcement hadn't had. You know, like one in the McStay case, we actually, I mean, this one was one of the coolest little sleuthing. So when they were showing these photographs of the crime scene, they were just showing bushes and so forth, and I had to find where the crime scene was based on the pattern of bushes in a desert. I just knew the general location. And then I was able to find where the crime scene was. And then once we find the crime scene, you know, they put these photos out, and you could see these little ruts in the dirt, mud, like tracks. Except the murders happened 4 years before, you know, so it was way before or 3 years before, you know. So a lot of people were saying, oh, those tracks were just made by the people who came out to after they found the bodies. But we went back on Google Earth, and before the bodies were even found, those tracks were there. So it turns out that just by obviousness, both grave sites had 2 sets of tracks. Well, the only way those tracks could get there is if it rained heavily and the wheels went into the mud. And so, like, Ada, she found like this older website that had some cool satellite imagery. And we went back to like 2010, and those they weren't there. And then they started showing up in the 11, 12, 13, you know, then they started showing up. So we looked up the weather, and it had rained, I think, on February 6th. And they went missing on the 4th. So we figured that the bodies must have been buried on the 6th, or at least the graves were dug on the 6th, because those mud tracks were made in mud. So we sent all that in, and they said, hey, we were able to verify your information. It's pretty crazy stuff. That was quite a few years ago, that one. And then, you know, Delphi had some kind of cool moments in that one. Hey, look at that. I've already got her kind of moving down the stairs. Oh, you know what? I gotta fix something. Ah, crap. Maybe I can just do part of it. Let's see. Hold on. Her head, neck and head. So let's see. Let me remove all that. So we start at 25. Right there. Auto key. Let me hit the head. Get that. I hit the head. Yes. Alright, so lock that in. Lock that in. And she turns. But then probably like right in this time frame, she would be turned, look that way a little bit. Yeah, now it kind of looks like she's looking at the room right there. I think she turns it even again. Like she's kind of still looking over there. Alright, gotta do that again. Forgot to do that part because her head's already turned on the next one. I think. Yeah. And she would be looking over there, right? Don't you think? What happened, M10? Share the vids, guys. Let's get more eyes on the facts. Exactly. It gets really frustrating for me. Yeah, I have been against law enforcement when I know that they're doing something Like in the Jodi Arias case and the Justin Ross Harris case, Jodi Arias, the right thing happened, but the prosecutors did really slimy stuff in that case. Like things that are, I proved, and people would get angry, but I go, no, look, you guys, this is stupid. So, I mean, Juan Martinez was a pile of crap. Oh, Mr. Wonderful. Well, there's a reason he's been disbarred, okay? So, it kind of proves that I was right that whole time. He's a slime ball. Let's see. And yet again, I can believe two things are true. Like Jodi Arias killed Travis, absolute first-degree murder, psychopath, nut job. But they did some very, very shady stuff at trial to switch the sequencing, which I've gone over 1,000,000 times. Justin Ross Harris case, while Justin Ross Harris is a completely unlikable human being, and his child died in a hot car incident, the reason he was distracted is why he was convicted of malice murder. So the prosecution spent all their time trying to make him look like a horrendous person, which he isn't a great person, but he didn't kill his child intentionally. They tried to sell that fact, and it was really obvious, all the bullcrap that they were doing, and a lot of us could see it. But when you're on the feverish side of, oh, I can't believe it, I'd never leave my kid, and you're one of those people, and you just can't see how this stuff works, then you're just going to be blinded to the reality. The reality is he did not kill his kid intentionally. He was distracted for ridiculous reasons. I mean, he was sexting people, and he was just doing other stuff. And yes, he's responsible. But they gave him malice murder, like it was, and they painted a picture of him to make the jury feel comfortable in giving him that sentence. And I told everybody this is complete nonsense. And guess what? It was all been overturned because we were right yet again. Okay? It was overturned because it was complete garbage. So now he's still serving time for his underage sexting that he was doing. Okay? He's a pile of crap person, but the malice murder, I like reality, not the lynch mob shit. So there's probably times where people don't like my opinion or whatever because it doesn't fit what your narrative is, but it's always based on what the reality is. See, look, now she's looking over there. Isn't that better? See that? She's looking over at that room. Right, Jodi Arias was a psycho, but Juan Martinez and Kevin Horn and Flores all completely... Flores was just the fall guy, but Kevin Horn and Juan Martinez conspired in that case, and I could actually prove it in court. I mean, they would look horrible. It's ridiculous what they did. So they conspired to change the sequencing. Like I always tell everybody, for 16 months they said that the gunshot was first. Then when Jodi Arias switched her defense to self-defense, they go out, ooh, wow, she has gunshot first too. We got to switch that. Let's go with knife first. And it never made sense. The knife first theory in that case is a complete joke, has no basis in reality whatsoever. It doesn't make sense with any of the information. So they changed a lot of things, like, oh, yeah, well, because Kevin Horn had told Flores many times that, the gunshot would not have been immediately incapacitated, and he also said he could find no track of the bullet in the brain, etc., on the autopsy, and then he tried to oversell how decomposed the brain was at trial, and tried to call it liquid, and then... Wilmot said, well, if it was liquid, how did you do serial cross-section? And then he looked all nervous, licking his... Oh, yeah, okay, so I did do serial. It wasn't liquid. It was... See, wow, why'd you call it liquid then? Why'd you call it liquid first? Why'd you do that? because you were trying to make it seem like it was not examinable because it was so decomposed. But your comment was that it was, the decomposition was somewhat limiting. Not, wow, I couldn't even examine this. That's what he said. It was somewhat limiting. And then he said that the bullet had to have gone through the brain. And yet, in the autopsy, it said the dura mater, which is a leathery film that surrounds the entire brain, was intact, meaning a bullet could not have hit the brain. And when a juror asked that question, he looked nervous again, thumbed through his notes, and he says, oh, that's a typo. Does anybody believe that shit? And the answer is no. All right, so anyways, she's heading down the stairs. Her neck's kind of looks pretty twisted there. Let me see that again. Doesn't look too bad, though. Yeah, looks pretty good. So what do you think of that? All right. Greg, I came here for Kohberger, not Jody Arias. Yeah, it was funny too, because even at trial, he goes, well, I think I just said earlier that it wouldn't have been immediately incapacitating. That's what Horn said when he was being cross-examined. He goes, I think I said earlier that he wouldn't have been immediately, he thought he would have been wouldn't have been immediately incapacitated. And then he kind of looks over at Juan Martinez because he knows he's screwed up. And then he goes, well, I mean, it had to have gone through the brain. So yes, he would have been, because he was remembering what he had always said before. I could just sit there and make this whole thing. He would look so bad. And I did it. We went over the entire trial again like a couple of years ago. And I showed it just how absolutely crappy these guys looked. And then there was a whole thing with Flores. What was that comment that he made with Nurmi? He said something like, no, it was just really weird. It was contradictory, and it was just, you know, like I felt bad for Flores. I don't know. Why not, Mary? Yeah, do you see that comment in the comment section? Gosh, Gray, why'd you make it red? My phone, I had to do this thing in it. Well, then don't watch, okay? It looks the way it looks. You know, one thing about Nurmi's, I don't think he knew how to argue that stuff. I mean, I swear to God. Like, he could have absolutely destroyed them in there. And you can see the judge was even like, yeah, jeez. And every time, and it's weird too, because every time I see Nurmi somewhere, I try to throw in some questions, and he just doesn't, he just sort of, I don't know, man. It's weird. Yeah, I like the lighting. Oh, you're the one that made that dumb comment? Jeez, that's crazy. Yeah. All right, let's put the, let's go back to the, so it's going to be just before this. Let's see if how that plays out. Hopefully it works good. Let's see. File, import. Right here. No, I know it wasn't you. All right, this could be good. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's see. She's backing up. Oh, yeah. Come on, man. That was pretty good right there. Ew. Look at that, huh? Backing up, and then goes down the stairs. Isn't that amazing? Now it makes sense, right? Like you look at it and you go, okay, yep. And it sort of makes sense now that she's going down the stairs because you saw the movement towards the stairs, see? Of course, the shadows aren't the same up there now. But you see that? That's how you do it right there. Okay, so she's there, and we know she's going down the stairs. So I guess the only when I'm in. Okay, here's how this is going to work. The next shot is the guy, Kohberger, running out of the room, right? Then the next shot's going to be her on the landing, where I can actually do an animation. So we got two shots in a row to do. So the next shot of her is going to be right here, arcing around, and we can assume she makes it down the stairs, because we'll pick up a shot in the kitchen of her sprinting, you know, just off camera, and then like this. All right, but the next shot we're going to do is Kohberger. I think, let's see, how are we going to do this? Maybe I'll have it go where, so she's right there. He's probably already here. Let's see. Maybe I'll just do one where he's here and he kind of makes it out to there. And then we show her there, you know. Okay. Yep. All right. All right. Here we go. We're so happy to be seen. But come on, you guys. We've hit a massive lull in here. We need to keep on moving through the night to give me the encouragement to keep doing the show live. All right. So if we could get some support up for the channel, that'd be great. All right. Let's do the. So does he run? Let's see what happens. We can import. I mean, where's that $2 holler you guys used to do? Man, especially since that amazing edit that I just got in there. That was... All right, we got all these different ones. Kohberger, turn, run, right. That might be the one. Let's see. Here we go. Just going to update. Update animation. And... Okay, there he is. Let's see what he does. Oh, perfect. Look at that. He runs. See that one on the left? He runs to the right. And so what I got to do is grab the little dummy for him and rotate it. Hey, thanks, Kimmers. There's part of the $2 hollers. Nah, that something didn't work there. Oh wait, I know why. Because the stupid auto key's on. All right. Look at that. It almost goes. We're almost perfect. Just got it right there. Does he even have the knife in his hand at this point? No. I'm gonna have to add it back in there. I mean, that's kind of creepy right there. I mean, if you just saw that shot, look at the separation there. Like he's trying to get out. She's just going to be going down the stairs. So he at this point, he's not that far behind, but I'm not going to show it that way. Alright, anyways, I gotta open up the knife now. That was it for the $2 haulers. Alright, timing, crime scene, K-bar, knife, open, add, and that's set at, I think that's too big at this point, so weird. So I guess that's 11 inches right there. Yeah, cool. His hand's already pretty good for that, right? Not bad, anyways. Nah, not really. Yeah, that's where it gets tedious here, but maybe I'll just be able to do it one time. Well, anyways, thanks up there for Kimmers. Right shoulder. Okay, so index finger. If I turn that, what does that do? No. Isn't that crazy, all this crap you gotta do just for something kind of little? Yeah, you're not going to see it very much. I'm just going to do it like that. All right, then we got the blade, and then that you actually put it as a child object to the right hand, and now it'll move with it. See, watch. See that? Creepy, huh? What's that light? Huh. Not sure what that is. Why that's in... Oh, that's down. Is that... I don't know what that is. Shot 15. Good night. Oh man. Yeah, that's what I did that other time. Wow. Ah, my stomach just went. Oh, you guys see that? Look at the sheath is right over there. You know what I could do is do like a double, let's see. I put the sheath on the bed, see that? It's actually the exact same kind and everything. I might try to do like 2 shots. A. Yeah, I did a video comparing Elliot Rodgers to Kohberger a long time ago. See, there's the sheath. See that? I'm gonna just stop. Oh, 'cause I didn't. No, I had a whole range there. Why didn't it keep going? You're talking about Crystal Rogers? Oh, Crystal Rogers. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're not. That sucks. They don't have it on trial. Yeah, I followed that for many, many, many years. Yeah. I even mapped out how Ellis was killed. You know, the people, obviously there was 2 people there. One was a lookout saying, "Here he comes," and then the other one throws the branch out. Then the vehicle stops, and then 2 people shoot him from up above. Why does it just stop here on one frame? I don't get it. It's supposed to continue. See, it's 0 to 25. I don't know. Screw it. I don't really care. Get that in there or not. Maybe somebody will notice it. Well, there we go. Hopefully it works. I don't know why it stopped on that last. Ah, good. Yeah, it sucks after all those years to not have it televised. See, why is he over there right now in this picture? I don't understand this. What's happening here? Why does he go all the way over there? That's not how it works. I'm just going to close it down and open it back up. Man, talk about massive lulls. What do you mean they didn't have a search warrant for his cell phone? Of course, they had to have one. I don't know, man. That's... I mean, the cell phone data is the whole case. Without that, you don't even show them driving out to... That would be insane. Oh, come on. How could they not have a search warrant to get his phone? That doesn't make any sense. They just didn't have one. Oh, let's take his phone and start looking at the cell data. That just seems almost impossible. Yeah, the pictures don't mean shit. It's the cell phone data. I mean, the pictures are helpful, but, you know, showing where he was and how he put the body. The pictures do show that he was... Yeah, I guess those ones, like when showing that he assaulted, that would be pretty important to show that. But at the same time, I mean, so this is just the case regarding the child, exploitation stuff. Yeah, so I guess that's not really, they'll just keep him in there for his murder charge. I mean, that would kind of help him dramatically. I don't even think there's a case if they throw out the pictures. It's not going to work again, is it? He's going to be right over there. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with this. Is there some setting that I missed? Like it skips certain number? Oh, look at that. Every 70th frame. Shit. Okay. Jeez. That's crazy. Every nth frame. So there you go. It skips 70 frames at a time. Well, of course. Yeah, he did say they could look at it, didn't he? Who's friends, Lucy? What case are you talking about, Lucy? Yeah. I think I covered that one. I don't remember what the circumstances were. But anyways, all right, guys. I think that's gonna do it. I'm just gonna do this on my own over here. So thank you to Alley Cake, CR, D Rich, Georgia Girl, Wise Child, D Rich, new member, then Alley Cake gifted one, then Jeannie Gaiagoy gifted one, then Dottie Newkirk gifted one, then Bonbon, Patricia Grizzo gifted 5, Little Puppy's Paw, then M10, Alley Cake, Timothy Cecil, Toka Charlie, M10 with the cat eye, Ivan Victor gifted 5, then Von Dazen, Harry me boy, M10 gifted 1, D Rich, Naomi Rollins, Florence White, Kimmers. I guess I have it over here. I always forget about this. I can do it like this. So we got Alley Kick, CR, C, D Rich, Georgia Girl, Wise Child, D Rich again, Alley Cake, Jeannie Guy gifted a membership, Dottie gifted 1, Bonbon, Patricia Grizzo gifted 5, thank you, Lil Puppy Paws, M10, Alley Cake, Timothy Cecil, Toka Charlie, then M10 with a cat eye donation, then Ivan Victor gifted 5, Mondazen, Harry Me Boy, then M10 gifted 1, then D Rich, Naomi Rollins, Florence White, Kimmers, then Naomi Rollins, Kimmers, Joseph Brennan, then I gifted 5, then Simply Suspicious Shauna, Joseph Brennan did 10, then I gifted 5, then we had Kimmers, really slowed down there dramatically, and let's see, we had Mike Weber and Lisa Valenzuela and Mary up there at the very end with a coffee. Well, like about 30 minutes ago. So thank you guys. We will see you guys tomorrow. All right. Hope I'm not coming down with something. My wife's got like a cold. Maybe I have something. I don't know. But anyways, we'll see you guys later. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, a rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Greg is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, ya, just remember I've a temper fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody, talk to you later. All right, and hey, thanks, It's Me Mike, for that funny parody you had. See you guys later.